Hi, successful artists. My name is Katy Fryd, and welcome to my podcast series about how to make money online from your artwork and raising money for your art project using crowdfunding. This podcast is about rewards for your crowdfund project. I'm going to go over my projects for my £300 campaign and my £50,000 campaign to give you some ideas of the types of rewards that you can do for your project. It may well be an exhibition that you want to put on, which is my plan for my next crowdfund campaign, so do follow me on Facebook or Twitter to see how that goes. With my first campaign, I really wanted to get some cards printed. I know a lot of artists that want to get their art onto greetings cards, and some have contacted me to ask about the different ways of getting their cards printed, as they felt they couldn't afford to do a large bulk order, as I suggested in one of my videos. So, what about this for an idea? If you can't afford to do a large bulk order for cards, do a crowdfund for it. That way you can afford it, and it's also a really affordable way for your customers to buy some of your work who maybe can't afford a full price painting. Do go and find and subscribe to my YouTube channel Katy Fryd TV and my YouTube video about printing cards if you're interested. I mentioned an online printer that I really like, although you may have your own local printer that you go to. I tried out various different rewards that I felt able to offer, but to be honest, I mostly pre-sold the cards. The most important thing being that because I made a large bulk order, the printers sold them cheap enough for me to pre-sell them at a good price. This is vital. A friend who pre-sold her cards did not make the same amount, and I think it was most likely down to the fact that she had to charge more for them to make any profit. People seemed to like my offer that worked out at £1 per card, including postage and packaging. You really need to do the maths on these projects though, so you're not out of pocket. You need to take into account the fees paid to the crowdfund site and PayPal. And if you're also transferring funds from PayPal into your bank account, you may be charged a fee. The company I used to print my cards accepted PayPal, so I didn't have to worry about that part of it. My current crowdfund is based around a book that I've written and features some of my pictures. Now, if you're going to try this, great, but I won't lie to you, self-publishing involves a lot of hard work. Part of the reason I'm trying to raise the money in this project that I'm doing now is to pay for a lovely lady that I know who does book PR to take some of the pressure off me. If you're thinking, why would I make a book when I'm an artist? Stop and think for a minute. You are an artist. Look around you, look around your bookshelves, and how many books on art and artists do you have? 1, 10, 100? We love art. We love books about art. It's a massive revenue stream for an established artist. I remember hearing Jeremy Deller on a television show saying that his latest project was going to be a documentary and a book as well. It struck me that art was only part of the whole thing. Documenting the process and the art had now become a revenue stream in itself. So, if you're making a collection of art or creating an exhibition, do plan to make a book too. I think books are really important to the artist's revenue stream, but I don't think we should be waiting for a publisher to come along and say that they want to publish our art. Like a lot of things in life, we have to do these things anyway until these people come along and ask us. You have to be quite bloody minded about it. And nowadays, it's the perfect time to make your own books. Self-publishing is so much easier. Books today are like the equivalent of the punk era and records. We can do so much by ourselves now. Yes, you have to consider marketing and distribution, but first of all, have you got enough images and things to say to make a book? And do make sure you have a target audience who will be interested in you and your subject. You'll need a collection of your artwork, preferably related, and if you haven't got that, you definitely need to work towards that. If you have, brilliant, start putting your book together. Lulu.com is a great site, which is where I made my book. I have heard from somebody that their extra packages that they provide aren't necessarily that great, so I'm recommending this purely on the basis that I put my own book together. So if you're going to do all that process yourself, putting it all together, then lulu.com is a great site. One more tip, make a black and white book first of all. Black and white is cheaper and more affordable to sell on with a profit margin. Colour is not. Wait until the main publishers come knocking on your door asking you to write a book before you produce a colour book of your work. This might mean it's a good idea to work on producing black and white or grayscale artworks early on in your career. Okay, this might not suit everyone, especially those whose art really relies on colour. I'm just giving you a tip about it here, but you can do whatever you think is best if you think you can sell it. Pre-selling the books and cards is a great idea as you can get the best discounts from bulk order. Also, you don't end up out of pocket. I had no spare cash when I did my first crowdfund project, and the printer I used allowed me to print a tiny batch of cards for a small amount of money, so I could photograph the finished product for my customers and show my friends and family. I had 4 different designs, and this meant the customers could choose exactly which cards they wanted before they were printed. It also gave me an idea of which one was more popular, which was great knowledge to have. It was like a bit of market research that I got at the same time. That's all for this podcast, but in my next podcast, I'm going to talk about how to get someone to review your book if you've chosen to write one. Or if you're interested in more about crowdfunding, then miss the next one out and listen to the one after that. If you think this podcast could be helpful to someone you know, please do share it with them. Thank you. Goodbye.